Coding Dojo is a programming school that turns beginners into developers in only 14 weeks. If you're serious about landing a career in tech but lack the formal education or background, Coding Dojo will get you there in no time. With over 3,000 graduates to date, over 90% of their grads land jobs within 3 months of graduating, often making over $70,000 per year at tech firms of all sizes, from companies like Google to local startups. To learn more, visit codingdojo.com or click the link in the description below. Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here from simpleprogrammer.com. Man, I'm feeling pretty good today, I have to say. It was a little bit of a down period, but I got the fire, at least for today. We'll see how long it lasts, hopefully for a while. And part of it is I've got a pretty exciting email that I want to reach you guys. I love doing these success stories. I love when you guys send me these because it always amazes me, right? In fact, some of your success stories make me jealous. Sometimes I'm like, damn, I wish I was as good as what people think I am. No, I mean, sometimes I struggle with. I'm like, man, am I as productive and awesome as I used to be? And as these people that are giving me these success stories are kicking ass. And sometimes I have to realize, maybe this working your butt off and whatnot and improving yourself is a young man's game. Nah, I'm just kidding. You gotta keep on improving your whole entire life. But I really enjoy your guys' success stories, and it's really cool. It's really inspiring to me to see these. It keeps me motivated, honestly, to see what you guys are doing. But this one, I'm going to keep it anonymous because it's got some numbers and some sensitive information in here. But this is from, we'll call him Joe. I don't know. Do we have to call him anything? I kind of want to use his first name. I think I can use his first name because how could someone identify you from your first name? So we'll say his first name is Scott. Okay. Or maybe it's not his first name. I don't know. All right. He says, "Hey John, I figured I'd go ahead and share my success story in the case that it may provide some benefit to you. At this point, watching your videos over the past year has added a quantitatively measurable impact on my life. The short story up front is that I have 4.5 years of industry experience as a software engineer. Okay, I want you guys to get this. 4.5 years, okay? And I was just offered a job at a public company for just shy of $400,000 in total annual compensation in a non-San Francisco or New York office. Okay, and he even got the hyphenation right on non-San Francisco or New York office. That's pretty good. All right, that's pretty amazing. All right, so 4.5 years experience. Almost $400,000. That's pretty damn good. All right. See, this is why I get jealous of this stuff. All right. So my story, and in the context of anonymity, is that I have always been a smart guy, and I've been loving / been good at programming since age 13. My career has been going well. I've been recognized as a great programmer, but I'm also a really nice guy. And I didn't even negotiate my previous 2 jobs because I believed I would get money as a result of being recognized for my hard work. Can we all just take a second and laugh at that? Oh, the naivety of so many of us at times. But there's good news. Scott figured this shit out. All right. He says, and it wasn't until your introduction to defining masculinity that I actually realized that the only reason I was such a great programmer to begin with is because I dumped my life into it so much in order to avoid conflict in the real world. So he said my introduction to masculinity. I think I've got a playlist for men or masculinity, or maybe it's just a becoming a better man and attracting women playlist. That was an interesting Freudian slip. But go check that out. Like, what you want to do is click the card and open it up in another window, or click the description and we can continue on here. But you're going to want to check that out if that's appealing to you. I realized that my whole life I'd optimized for being a nice person because I thought that was good. I point you to a video on being a nice guy, which you should check out as well if you have this problem. But it turns out that I was optimizing for the wrong thing and wasn't actually doing anyone any favors by not being confrontational in general. I'm also married, so why would I ever ever take any actions to be more desirable to random women? Good question, right? Why would you do this? Okay. But you've struck a chord with me a number of times. If I'm not naturally attractive to other women, does this mean that my wife has just settled for me? All right. And what sort of relationship should I expect to have if that is the case? These are good questions. Guys, you need to fucking ask these questions to yourself, okay? This is why I make these videos. You need to fucking ask these questions. Whether you're married or not, you need to ask these questions, all right? I tried your experiment making eye contact with women and not breaking it. I guess we'll have to queue up those videos. Here, I've got a series of videos on this, okay? And this is a serious experiment, okay? So he says, I tried your experiment of making eye contact with women and not breaking it. As long as I wasn't in an ambiguously safe location, such as the subway or the streets, doing so generally resulted in subtle and seemingly involuntary positive responses that for me, I would have previously considered an anomaly, all right? I learned about framing. Getting women to warm up to me was the softball, but the exact same concepts can be applied to my career with how I interact with peers and management. So true. This is a very true thing, that this skill set is highly applicable, okay? I dress better. I'm more well-groomed. I make eye contact. I don't apologize. I tell people what I want. And I tell people when I have a problem with them. This is now my belief. It is now my belief that men's measure of attractiveness to women and the ability to successfully manage a career are one and the same, and that hypothesis is consistent with the premise that women are instinctively attracted to status, which I also learned from your channel and read more about independently. Now, I believe that the more real-world problem I actually have of resisting tangible temptations is better than my previous problem of being a person that is barely noticeable to the opposite sex. So, okay, that's good, right? That's a better problem to have. I agree. It is a problem, but it's a better problem to have. Because, you see, you can't really make a choice unless you have freedom to make choices. If you don't have options, you haven't made a choice in life. So, when you tell someone that you value them, or you make some kind of a choice and they know you don't have any options, it's not special. But when you do have options and you make a choice, you're actually choosing, right? And that's the difference. And that makes a whole big amount of a difference in a relationship. But anyway, he says, ironically, I'm also 31, which was the same age you also claimed was the year that most males become men. I read your book. I need to treat my career as though I'm managing a business, not a social network of friends to arbitrarily create. I started job searching not even intending to necessarily leave, but I will take actions that I believe to be good and let the chips fall where they may. That night before the interview with the company I'm going, in which your going away advice to one random individual who was also going to interview was to make the interview panel like you. This is immediately what I started to optimize for in the interviews themselves. There's a lot of gems in here. So, this is true, and this worked. I want you guys to see a real world application of this, okay? He says, I felt the questions became easier. For an architecture interview where the interviewer says, you're missing this item as a hint, I shouldn't respond with, yeah, I was going to get to that. It's actually better to respond in a joking manner with, that's an excellent idea. During all of the talks with the recruiters, I wasn't a humble job seeker this time. I presented myself as an individual that generally got what I wanted because I knew I was worth it. I negotiated from an initial offer, or at least magnificently better than last time, in part because of being comfortable asking the uncomfortable question of getting even more money, even when the initial offer was a life-changing amount. Man. When people have the balls to risk it all when they're already getting it all, that's the balls required, all right? He says, at the risk of sounding like a jerk. But then again, how would the recruiter even respect me if I wasn't a jerk when it mattered? True. All of that to say, some fraction of my income can be attributed to your YouTube videos, which ends up coming to a pretty substantial amount of money. So, this is cool. I love getting an email like this because I love to see you guys' success. And there's a lot of gems of wisdom in this email, just the application that Scott took to some of these things that I'm talking about. And these are the reasons why, and I'm talking to guys here, as a guy, it is important to understand and embrace masculinity and to not accept the gender neutral society view of humanity that is so prevalent, because that's not going to get you very far in life. It's not going to get you what you want. And just embracing this and understanding these things can have just life-changing effects. And this is not just for men, but I mean, some of the things that Scott said in this email about how he changed his personality to being the kind of person who goes after what they want, tells people what they want, tells people when he has a problem with them, right? And whatnot, and realizing that he doesn't want someone in his life who just settled for him, right? Those are really important concepts that can really change your life. So anyway, congratulations, Scott. Awesome. I mean, I can't believe what you've been able to do. Not just the accomplishments in your career and financially, but mentally. The mental transformation is really what I consider to be the biggest success that you've gone through. So I hope this is inspiring to you guys. Let me know if it is. Give Scott a congratulations here. And I would love to get more success stories from you guys. Just send me an email at john@simpleprogrammer.com, and I'd love to hear your success stories. And I wish you all well. All right, if you haven't subscribed already, click the subscribe button below. And make sure you click the bell so you don't miss any videos. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.